Good evening, everybody. Time is 6:58. Sorry for the delay, but I'm going to call to order the August 17, 2022 Borough Council voting session. That being our call to order, item 2 is a Pledge of Allegiance. Can that please be led by Mr. McCoy? Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is item 3, comments, suggestions, petitions by residents in attendance regarding items that are not on the agenda. Don't see any, so we'll move on to item 4, which is comments by Borough Council and the Mayor, and we will start with Mr. McCoy.
Good evening, everyone. I hope hopefully the weather will be great tomorrow. It's the Blast Music in the Park at Marshall Square Park. Sin Brothers are playing, always a great time. And one of the band members, Paul, is my coworker, so I'm looking forward to that. Hope to see you there.
Thank you. Mr. McGinnis.
I really don't have any too many comments here, but I think we made a lot of progress within the borough yesterday, and I hope that we can continue to make more progress to protect women's reproductive rights. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Flynn.
Greetings from the sweetest ward in the borough, the 6th Ward. There's 2 very important things going to happen in the next week and a half. Happy Labor Day to everybody. And I turned 70 years old. So I know I look 58 and a half, but 70 years old, I made it. I didn't think I'd ever survive Derby, but I made it to 70. The life expectancy of people in Delaware County isn't very large, but I moved to Chester County, so I made it. So happy Labor Day.
Thank you. Mr. Allen.
Good evening. I just wanted to thank everyone for your patience with my being out the past week and a half. I had to run up to Michigan for a family emergency that thankfully resolved itself decently well. So it's very good to be back. I just wanted to echo, Mr. McGinnis, what you said. I did get the chance to get caught up today by listening to last night's meeting, and I was very encouraged and impressed with all the work that got done on several fronts. And I think we are definitely in good shape as we move forward on some of the issues we're facing here. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Dorsey.
I'll be brief as well. Just welcome everyone to Borough Council, and back to school is in another week or 2. So I know parents and kids are regretting that right now. So that summer's coming to an end with Labor Day and back to school.
Thank you. Mayor DeBaptiste.
I just wanted to say, yes, it's been a good week for Borough Council, and I've been really pleased to bring forth 4 wonderful applicants for the borough police officers to come on board. So I'm very excited about that. They bring diversity to our borough, and I'm very happy about that as well. And they're excellent candidates. So I look forward to the consent agenda, and I look forward to hopefully, if all goes well, installing them all, swearing them in next month, September, right around the corner.
Thank you. I just have a few things. First, I want to thank Chief Moorhead for, I know a lot of council was on the training at the Chester County Training Center a couple months ago, but I got to go last month. Me and Mr. Flynn went, and it was just absolutely incredible to see what the officers and all the emergency personnel go through. To get that firsthand was pretty amazing. And I got to see Mr. Flynn shoot a gun for his first time ever, and it was quite a sight. So, but thank you, Chief Moorhead, for that. I want to thank Randy from our traffic and planning and Mr. Metric for holding a listening session with council and all the business owners and other stakeholders for the pending Gay Street closure moving forward. I thought it was really well attended, and it was really amazing for us to hear the feedback from the people that are most affected by that closure. And I really look forward to finding some really good solutions and that moving forward soon. Lastly, back to school, as Ms. Dorsey said, is happening. I know a couple of us up here already, starting soon. Be on the lookout for kids running around, school buses, things like that. Be aware. And good luck to all the students and the teachers and everybody else involved in that. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 5. Announce the reason for the August 17th, 2022 executive session. We just met to discuss personnel issues. Moving on to item 6, which is our discussion. We have a couple appointments, one to the library board and one to the planning commission. First, I just want to say thank you to everybody who applied and interviewed. Really goes a long way. We need volunteers. We need people to take over these positions, and I know it's a lot of people's time. So I really thank everybody. Unfortunately, we can only choose one for each position. We had multiple applicants. So if those that aren't chosen, I just want to thank you in advance for your willingness to serve. Let's move first to the library board of directors. We had Andrea Moore and Kelly Dungy. Anybody would like to make a motion for one of them to be appointed?
Mr. Spano, I'd like to make a recommendation for Andrea Moore for the Library Commission.
Thank
I
you.
will second that recommendation.
Great. So we have a motion for Andrea Moore to take over the position for library board of directors. Any discussion? Okay. We vote on these separately, Mr. Metric?
We can, as the motion's been entertained.
Okay, so we
yes,
should vote on that. Okay, great. So would you call the question then, please?
Mr. Flynn,
Yes.
Mr. McGinnis,
Yes.
Mr. Allen,
Yes.
Mr. McCoy,
Yes.
Ms. Dorsey,
Yes.
Mr. Stefano,
Yes.
and Ms. Vaccaro is absent.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So motion carries 6-0. Thank you, and congrats to Andrea for being appointed. Moving on to Planning Commission, we had Craig Loundis, Tom West, and Matthew Clapp as we can choose one of them.
I will make a motion to appoint Tom West to the Planning Commission.
Second.
Great, thank you. The motion has been made and seconded to choose Tom West as our appointment for the Planning Commission. Any further discussion? Okay, Mr. Metric, would you please call the question?
Mr. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Ms. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Stefano?
Yes. Okay, great, thank you. Motion carries 6-0 on Mr. West being. So congrats to those two for being appointed. And again, thank you to the other who weren't selected. I hope you consider applying in the future for other positions. We always need people, so thank you. Moving on to item 7, which is our consent agenda. Any issues with the consent agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Questions? All right, let's please call the question, Mr. Metric.
Mr. Flynn?
Yes.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Ms. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Stefano?
Yes. All right, motion to approve the consent agenda passes 6-0. And that moves on to other business, which is item 8. Is there any other business? Made up for our lost time here, I think. Okay, seeing no other business, this meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody.